Bruno, this is the first interview Wayne's ever done.
Yeah.
So, be quiet.
And you've just took my first question away. That was the first thing I was going to say, and now you've just got that off me as well.
You can still say it.
Yeah, so going into Manchester United training ground to do the podcast with Brunofernandes. I'm looking forward to it, actually. I think it'll be good because Kay and Kelly are not here with me. I'm doing it alone, which, so really, it's the first time I've ever sort of interviewed someone. So
it's going to be a bit of a different podcast today?
It'll be a little bit different. Obviously, being Man United's best player for a few years, captain of Manchester United, and player who I really like watching. Well, I hope it turns out to be just one ex-captain to the current Manchester United captain having a good chat.
All right, mate. Good. Hi.
Hi, Bruno.
Hi, Bruno. You all right?
Hi, Bruno. How you doing?
Okay. Good, yeah.
Bruno, just got a big clap.
Yeah.
Bruno, good to see you, mate. This is the first interview I've ever done, so I think you're going to have to bear with me a little bit. It might be
I feel
a bit up and down.
I feel it's a privilege that.
A bit up and down, but bear with me. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm very good.
It's very nice to be here with you. To be honest, I've seen you many times. I played against you. I got the shirt off you, but you don't know it. Because I asked Juan to get it for me. He's not a United one, he's a Derby one. But
oh, the Derby one, yeah. For you to be here, and it's been tough, and I think it's been tough over the last few years. And how have you handled that? Because obviously, as the leader, you're having to deal with a lot of stuff. How have you handled?
No, obviously, it has not been as I wanted. You know, like I've seen the club for so many years. Obviously, when you were playing, when Cristiano was here, for me was the times that I was growing up and following the club, and that was probably one of the best clubs in the world, and not just club but team also, because you guys were winning year after year. And when you come to a club like this, you feel that you want to do the same. You want to win, even knowing that when I came, I knew the club was not in the best place already, but. When you come to United, you always think that I'm going to be closer to win trophies and to achieve what I want to achieve. Obviously, it has not been like that. I've achieved some things, but not as many as I wanted and as many as the club wanted. But for me, it's just about playing football. You know, I just enjoy to play, and I know that in this club you have a lot of things surrounding and a lot of people talking about. But this is the price you have to pay in a big club. And if you want to be part of a club like this, you need to be aware that it's going to be a lot of things that you have to deal with. And for me, to be honest, you like when people speak well about you. You don't like it as much when they say bad things about you. But you have to deal that in the same way. So for me, it's about that.
I think you're in the best form you've been in for Manchester United, and it is a joy watching you play. And the best thing I like about you is you take a risk. You're not scared to give the ball away. I think that's a big skill to have.
I think the position where I can give more to the team is probably as a 10, because obviously I don't think in the years I've been here we didn't have a lot of players that could play as a 10 to create, to take that risk, not have that fear of like losing the ball or whatever. And when I first came, we had Juan and he was amazing, but he was playing more towards the right side than as a 10. But then I never had the chance of playing deeper with someone as a 10 that would be the guy that would create, and that's what made me probably be more the 10 here, because when I was at Sporting I always rotate between the 10 and 8, but obviously when you're at Sporting and in Portugal the difference between the big clubs and the rest of the league is massive, so most of the teams you control the games, and obviously the manager he made me play as an 8 when we had home games against teams where he thought would be much easier to control the game, and then when you played the big games and he wanted someone up the pitch to create more, and when spaces will be tighter and the game will be more difficult, would have played me there and probably give someone that would give more control defensively. But I think, for me, I don't know if it's the best form in my career or whatever, but I'm enjoying playing, and obviously numbers are coming up, and obviously as a 10 you want to assist the other ones. I think obviously the best thing in football is scoring a goal. For the position I play and for the way we want to play and the way we set and with the players I have up front, serving them and giving them the passes is something that I really enjoy.
Well, you lead the team, don't you? And what I love about what you're doing, consistently you're in the team, you play, you don't ever, you very rarely come out the team. And have you played through big injuries?
Yeah, I've played some with, obviously, I didn't have, let's say, massive injuries, but I think around 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I had an injury against Brighton in the semi-final of Carabao Cup or FA Cup, I don't remember exactly which one was, and I had just had my foot properly blowed and I had the plant of my foot all bruised and I couldn't walk. And still there, I was like, we were going through a period where we could get the Champions League spots. We were in the final of the Carabao Cup or FA Cup, one of them too. And I just said, like, I'm going to play through this. And just because, it's not because I want to show that I'm stronger than the other ones or whatever, just I enjoy playing football. If there's something that I really can't play, okay. But I feel that pain is something that during the games you can kind of forget it. If you go with the emotion of the game, I don't really think about it, because if I have the manager that says to me like, no, stay calm, stay on your side, it's fine, you rest 2 games, I will be doing that. But if I have the manager on the other side saying, no, we need you, just make an effort, try it. And I played against Tottenham with my foot all blown up, and I had pain everywhere. They put a strapping on me. I hate playing with strappings. I never played with strappings. I hate having things on my feet. I feel it. I don't know. I feel strange.
Feel like a cramp.
Yeah, I got into the warm-up. I came out of the warm-up. I took the strap, and the guy that has just done the strap, he was there like for 15 minutes trying to make it the best way as possible. I said, I'm sorry, but I can't. I just play with this, and then whatever has to happen will happen.
Yeah, well, it's interesting there when you said about if the manager says you don't play. So I would have, I think I was a nightmare, because I used to go to the manager and be like, listen, I ain't playing.
No,
regardless, I'm playing, I'm not sitting out. I think it caused problems between the doctor, the physios, and the manager and stuff. But you study the game, don't you? I can see.
Yeah, but
just see how you're talking.
I just like, for me, as you said, like I had some fights. Obviously, when Ruben was here and I had my hamstring injury, it was my first time, so I was a little bit also scared about like, what could this be? Because, you know, like then the doctors, when they speak to you, they kind of scare you like, oh my God, this. And I was like, no, I'm fine. Because even at Villa, I got injured and half time I wanted to come, like I said, I can carry on. That's fine. Because we didn't have many players on the bench also. It was a time where we were struggling. I think we had players away in AFCON and then some players injured. And I said, no, I play through, it's fine. And then Ruben was like, no, you can't play because then we're going to lose you for more time. And I was like, no, let me go. And if I can't make it, he said, no, I'm making the sub. Then I came, I had the scan, they said, like, you need to be out. Then I wanted to play Leeds away. And they said, no, you can't play. I said, no, I'm okay for 20 minutes. And then I was like going to the manager, saying one thing, then going to the doctor, saying another thing. I was trying to fix something in the way that the bubble could go around. And I was like, I'm going to get at least 20 minutes in the end of the game. But I couldn't make it. But at least then Burnley, when Fletch was here, he told me it's 60 minutes and I have to take you off. I said, no, if we know winning, don't take me off. And
that's
he was
brave, isn't it?
Yeah,
for Fletch coming in for
and he was like
2 games.
He was like, Bruno, please, I have to take you off. Don't. I said, like, no, if we know winning, just leave me on the pitch. And half time we were, I think 1-1, and or 1-1 or losing 1-0 probably. And I said, we were losing 1-0. And then second half, we scored 2 quick goals. Sesko scored a double. And Fletch looked at me, it was around 58 minutes, and he looked at me and I was like, yeah, okay. I didn't want to make that things difficult for Fletch of coming in 2 games, and if I get injured again, people will get on him.
He would have done it to you.
You would get the blame and everything. So I was like, okay, I come out. And as soon as I come out, I said, bro, I had to take you off. Sorry, I wanted to keep you on the pitch, but I had to take you off.
Growing up as a child, and then if you would have fast forward and said to yourself, 20 years time, 15 years time, I'm going to be captain of Manchester United, would you ever have dreamt that you would have that opportunity?
No, I said that this many times. I've dreamed about playing for the club. You know, I wanted to. Obviously, dreaming, you're allowed to dream everything you want. But I never thought. Obviously, as I said before, I saw you guys playing so many times, and I was following the club for so long. But I never thought about being captain of the club. For me, just coming to the club was already a dream come true, a privilege. You know, playing for the club and playing for so long, because you know, staying at this club for so long is not for everyone. and you guys have done it for so many years and winning so many things, and that was the thing in my head, coming to this club, stay there, winning trophies, being one of the players that will be there for the good moments and trying to build the club into glory again. But is a thing that you don't even dream about. And the privilege and the honor for me to be the captain of the club, and when the chance came, obviously was not in the best way, because obviously Harry was at the club and he's not leaving the club, and they have to choose another one. So was kind of a tricky one for me, but was had a conversation with Harry, and so that made me feel much better on the way, like, okay, I need to deal with this. I know that I have his support on terms of like, okay, it was my time. They decided that it's not anymore, and then we go forward with this. And I think that helped me a lot from his side, having him on my side. Like, he was the first one to talk with me when he knew that I would be the captain. So that was a very good sign for me that he accepted. Obviously, you never accept it too well, but in some way he accepted that I would be the captain, and he was there to help me, and he did, to be honest. But as I said before, I never thought or dreamed about being the captain of the club. I just wanted to play for it.
Michael Carrick, since he's come in, how's it been? Because I was in Barbados with him the week before.
Yeah, I know
So
about
we were on the beach and we're having a beer, we're chilling, and then all of a sudden he's manager of Manchester United, and I actually was thinking about it, and I was thinking, do you know what? I think this is a really good fit. This works. It feels right. And then obviously he came doing well.
He came in, and I think I've knew him from the time of Ole. Obviously not as a manager. That he had 3 games as a manager, and you could think already that there was something more than an assistant manager, or someone that could be more than just an assistant manager. And I think that 3 games showed that, because the way he prepared the game, the way he spoke to us in the games against I think was Arsenal, Chelsea, and Villarreal.
Yeah.
You could kind of understand that he was prepared for the moment. He was like, I think he was with Jose before, and then with Ole, if I'm not mistaken. And you could see that there was already someone that was ready for the next step, and not just to be behind someone else. And then when he came in, I think he came with the energy that the team needed, with a lot of positive energy, good things to say, very nice words in terms of not just nice words of good words, but nice words in terms of like when he's needed something stronger, when he's needed something softer, when he's needed something to bring the team together. And I think that was very important for the, not just for the team, but for the full environment to feel like, okay, we've changed. From here now, we just have to try to go up, and not thinking that what could have been, what we should have done, what we could have been differently. And I think that was the main thing, that change was everyone in the team, but also staff, and everyone was very quick to, okay, it didn't work, let's turn on the other one, and let's push to achieve what we want to achieve in this season. And until now it's been working very well. We got very good results, some results where we could have done better, but that's part of playing in the Premier League, and the league is so tough and so tight that at this moment we are in the best position we could ever be. When Michael just came in, we never thought that in this probable time of moment you would be third, and depending on yourself to secure the top 4.
I remember a scene last summer, and there was speculation that you might leave the club, you might stay. I remember looking at it, I was trying to put myself in your position. I was thinking, like, what would I do here? Because the club was in a sticky moment, and I was thinking, what would I do? And I've been in that exact position. I thought, I want to leave a legacy, I want to be successful. And for you now, if you go on to captain Manchester United back to the Premier League title or to the Champions League, do you know what that will do for?
No, I know.
Do you know what that will leave, the legacy you will leave at this football club?
I'm very aware of that, and that's obviously last season when I stayed was a little bit because of that. I don't want to leave the club or at the point where we were struggling and we needed something to get back in positions we wanted to be. Obviously, I never hide from that. I want to win the Premier League. I want to win the Champions League. I never hide it from that, and I will never hide. I might do it. I might not. That's part of football, but I stayed at the club because I think I still have something that I can give back to the club, not just because I'm going to be the player from Man United or the captain from Man United, just because I think I still very able of helping the club to get back to that positions and to get what I wanted in the first place when I came to the club. Obviously, it's difficult when you hear a lot of things coming. Obviously, the Saudi situation with the money, that was a lot, and all these things. But I've always said, and the good thing I have in my family is that my wife is pretty down to earth like me. And we're very aware that we don't want to be the richest person in the world. We just want to be the ones that have achieved the dreams that they had and live a good life with their kids and trying to be as more successful as possible. And I was very good at the time in my head was about to stay in, but the words of my wife of like, have you achieved your dreams? Have you achieved everything we wanted? And that small things that she said made me understand that, okay, she's in the same page as me. What I was thinking is not wrong. Let's try it. Let's keep trying it, and let's see where this takes me.
You always have to listen to your wife.
Yeah. Whatever they say.
Yeah, I know.
How's it going, Bruno?
Good. He's doing good. He's doing good. It was better on the pitch anyway. Yeah.
This is the time where you can criticise. What would be your best moment you've had at the club?
Probably one of the ones that I like the most is the assist to Kobe in the FA Cup final. Because I think from the moment I start running from the halfway line to the edge of the box, I think it was probably the play that I've scanned the most the game. Because obviously, you know, when you get into that moment and playing against City, you know that normally they will have the ball for long periods and you're going to have to suffer and sacrifice. And then there's going to be moments where you need to be aware, clever, knowing where all the players are. And then as soon I know that Gardner's coming in and that ball could come to me, my first thought was like, if this comes perfect, I'm going to shoot, because the position was perfect. But as soon the ball starts traveling, I see John Stones stepping out, and I knew Kyle was just behind Kobe. So if I make the pass in the right moment with the right pace, timing, Kobe's going to be in a much better position than myself to finish the play. So I think that, for me, that's the moment for me as a player, for what I can give to the team and what I like to see in players that play in that position. That's the moments I like.
You make it look so easy, and not many players, even at the top level, will be able to see that and execute it. So there's certain players who, when they get the ball, the teammates will run. They'll make run off ball. So, for instance, when Ryan Giggs got the ball, I'd run, because I knew he'd try and find you, he might give the ball away. When you get it, I'm looking at players, I'm thinking, look, everyone's gone, everyone's running. So I'd love to play with you, because I've played with different players and I've played in different positions. So I would love to have the opportunity to play alongside you. Do you think we would work?
No, it would. It would, first of all, because I think everyone knows about your hard work off the ball and everything, you know, and probably people will think about too offensive and everything. But I think when you have players that play in the 10 position, that know how to defend as an 8 or a 6, and they run as much as they can to help the team and defend, I think in that terms we won't have problems of do that dirty side of the game, let's say, as a 10 that probably in your time was not many 10s that would do it, and that's something that I think was very impressive from your side. In a generation where the number 10 was just like the fancy player that would get the ball and everything, and a part of you scoring goals, giving assists, you would run everywhere and fight anyone on the pitch, being strong, and that's something that I've always had in my game. That probably I'm not as strong as you are, but I'm not afraid of going to tackles and make myself available to that. And then on the ball, I think I really like the runs, to make runs in behind. But obviously, you need players that can play that pass. And I think with you by my side, or one ahead, one behind, whatever it was, we would probably both get in much more times on a 1v1 with the keeper. And a part of that, I think, for me, would have been a privilege playing alongside you, because I've watched you for many, many years, and were a player that I had in my head always to follow up in the way you played, in the way, not just, as I said before, because the qualities, everyone can see it, but the way you felt the game, the way you were grafting up, and the way you wanted to win games, and that you would never allow anyone to get ahead of you. That's something that I've always liked. I like players with that spark, with that fire inside, because I think that's the players that make a difference in many big teams.
So we're coming towards the end of the season, play the year coming up. I genuinely think this year, I think you should win it. I think what you're bringing to the team, when the team's going through a bad period, you're there consistently, you're leading, and I think you're the perfect example to your teammates. I think you'll win it. I think you should win it. I think you will win it. And if you don't,
obviously,
it'd be hard to take. I think if you don't.
It's a huge privilege to be in the conversation. Obviously, like as a player, you can say as many times as you want that you want to win trophies collectively, and that's true. But obviously, these individual accolades are always nice for you, for your personal side, for you to know that you don't need the accolades to know that you did a good season or not. But obviously, when you know there is players voting for you, that has a little bit of a different impact, because like it's the players that you've been playing against, and if they recognize you as one of the best in the league or the best in the league for that season, it's a huge privilege. Obviously, I'm pretty aware that players that win the league get closer to get that trophies and to win that, because we always put together in the same plate winning the league by a player who is always going to have a certain weight. But I think I've done very well this season. Yeah, I think probably getting into this conversation is already a privilege. I'm not really focused on that. I would be more than happy to win it. I'm not going to lie on that. It's going to be, if I do end up winning, it's something unbelievable, because I've never done it before. So it's a privilege and an honor. But I think there are other players that have done a very good season, different ways, different playing styles and stuff like that. And let's see who gets it at the end of the season.
So if you do win it, make sure your teammates go to the event and celebrate. So I won it. I don't think any of my teammates went. But I've been told, when my teammates have won it, I've gone and we've all gone to celebrate. And then when I won, I was like, where's all the teammates? What's going on here? But make sure they go and celebrate.
I will make sure that if they don't go,
as a family, if you do it, so hopefully you do. Are you enjoying your game? Because one of the things I look back at is when you're in the thick of it, and you think of like, we need to do this, we need to like try and be better, and then I look back and think I should have enjoyed playing more rather than constantly thinking, right, you'll be doing the same which you do. You're thinking, right, I need to help my teammates here, and then make sure you enjoy it as well, because I can see you're always wanting to do everything, and
it's a little bit.
And then when you stop playing, you're thinking, I should enjoy that a little bit more.
Yeah, I think I'm getting better at that now, because obviously I think as you get older, you understand better the things. You understand better that every player is from different generations and they see things in different ways. They live it in different ways. I'm probably a little bit too old school yet, because obviously I've raised in football in Italy, so they are very tough on the young players and everything like that. But I'm learning and I'm understanding that every player has a different way of dealing with things. So I probably have to enjoy more my football. You're very right at it. I put my head into many things, but I'm getting better at that.
World Cup coming up, Portugal have given me 2 worst nights of football. In 2004, I broke my foot, and then 2006 got the red card. And I actually mean this because of Cristiano, and I would love to see him win the World Cup, and yourself, him. So what I've just said before, go and enjoy it, have fun, and I hope you do well.
Thank you very much. I will try my best to make my country proud. Obviously, as you said, wrapping up all this last World Cup with Cristiano, winning it will be something amazing, and I really hope that we can make that, not just for Portugal, but for everything that Cristiano gave to football in Portugal and to the world. I think will be a very nice way to end this season. I think 2004 is my first memory of Portugal playing, because I was 10 years old. I shouldn't say this, but when England lost in penalties, I was in my grandma's house. I run with my cousins. We run outside in the streets.
I was in the hospital, in Portuguese hospital, in England kids still, watching it on a little TV. So
and then obviously the 2006, I remember, because obviously everyone remembers Cristiano and Wayne's a little bit of fire there, and ends up in Jamie Carragher missing the penalty. I had to say this. Sorry, Jamie. I had to get a little bit of you. You get on me all the time. I can get on you that penalty. Yeah? When I miss a penalty, don't say nothing about it, please.
But Bruno, thanks so much for doing the podcast. Really appreciate it, and good luck.
Thank you very
All the
much.
best. It's a
Thank you.
pleasure.